So I did look up
Yeah.
a definition.
Okay. Yeah, let's start with that.
Because I was having a hard time, like, even figuring out what I consider a B movie. Like, it's, for me, it just feels like it's completely vibes based, you know?
Yeah. I think, at least for me, there's a certain level of maybe snobbery on my part. It's like it has to be a certain, like a competent, I don't know, or there has to be a
Yeah,
certain
like,
weirdness to it that's like not normal.
like a little off the beaten. Yeah, I get that. Um, the dictionary definition
I thought it
says
was,
a low budget movie.
yeah,
So low budget, especially
and I thought,
formerly one made for use as a companion to the main attraction in a double feature, which explains why it feels so kind of vibes based for me.
I guess that was a
And
time in theater, maybe the 70s, where they did more double features. Because I don't remember like any double features except like
yeah, no,
Grindhouse,
I don't.
and that
Yeah,
was
and that was just referencing the time when they did that. I think double features were a thing all the way, like,
50s,
from
60s,
yeah, at least
20s.
the 50s, maybe even the 40s. I mean, not a ton of movies got made in the 40s because we were kind of busy with other shit. But I remember one that did come to mind was one of my favorite movies. It was made during the war, too, I think 1942, called Cat People. And that one, I think, is considered like one of it's considered sort of a quintessential B movie because it was,
Oh, okay.
you know, like a B-side double feature movie.
Okay. And you're throwing me curveballs.
But
I never heard of it.
yeah, Cat People. It's kind of like a psychological thriller.
Because I
And
know the David Bowie song in like the 80s movie. Um,
yeah, no, different thing.
yeah, it is kind
I
of
think
a
it's a
B
different
movie.
thing, unless the 80s movie was a remake.
Could have been, but
Let's see, 80s.
I was kind of
Cat People.
wondering if I should use my browser more, but, to kind of showcase some of these.
Oh, it is a remake. Okay. It's a remake of the 1942 RKO Radio Pictures film of the same name. I did not know that. Maybe I should check it out.
It's all right. I would consider it a B movie.
You would?
Well, kind of.
Or you wouldn't?
I mean, the budget is. I think it's got a pretty good budget.
Yeah. It's the budget thing is tricky too, I feel like, because there's like mid-range budget movies that aren't, it doesn't really feel like those are even a thing anymore. But you take like a movie like The Mist, which is kind of like an homage to B movies and monster movies, but it's mid-range budget. Like it's a decent, well, it's a Hollywood movie.
It's got a production team behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's all, I feel like it's hard to define, but I have my picks that
Okay. Well,
I think.
I guess when I was searching, it's like I felt like originally, like I was gonna pick movies, and then I was like, these are all on number one lists, and I would recommend them. But it was I saw a lot of Samurai Cop The Room, and Hardline to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all, I guess Suburban Sasquatch is one I got from Red Letter Media. That's fantastic. But I thought we could talk about those, unless they're on
Okay.
your list.
They're not on my list.
Okay. So yeah, it's like I saw those and I was gonna go for those, but then I was like, no, I could do something a little more me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so let's see. It's like Hardline to Hawaii. I guess I don't really have a lot to say about it other than like it's hilarious.
I don't know if I've never even heard of that. Is that
Really?
if that was a Red Letter Media? They covered that on Red Letter Media.
They have. Yeah. It
Okay.
was just it was on like the number one list that I was looking at.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'll have to look up. I'll watch their video later.
Okay. I won't go
Get an
into it
idea.
then. Let's see. I guess the other one have you seen The Room? Or the
Mm.
Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah, I've seen The Room. Yeah.
Do you like it?
Um, I find it entertaining in a like it's it's an oddity.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie by any means. There's really no redeeming qualities about it other than
Yeah.
like it's like a crazy incel made a movie. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that
Um,
movie kind of makes me feel uncomfortable, kind of
yeah,
like The
me too.
Office. Like,
So
yeah, it's like a movie that I kind of laugh at, but I don't know. It's like I kind of feel gross just watching
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's this dude that like it's like the whole nice guys cliche online of like you know this victimhood mentality that this guy has like and he made a whole movie about it. I don't know. It's
Yeah, the
weird.
whole thing about the suicide is sorry.
Do you
But
ever have you ever watched riff tracks?
occasionally, like I watched the back when they were Mystery Science Theater 3000 or
Yeah,
whatever. Like I
yeah.
saw some of those, but not really. Like I've seen maybe
Um,
five.
yeah, it's the guys from Mystery Science Theater. Like they went off and did their own thing after the show ended. But they on riff tracks they did The Room, and it was one of my favorite riff tracks jokes is the scene where he kills himself because through the whole movie they keep obviously making fun of him and like he'll just be saying hi like they'll act like he's saying hi to everything like oh hi
Yeah.
mailbox oh hi sidewalk and at the end when he puts the gun in his mouth they say oh hi gun barrel.
Oh, hi, Bullet. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and it's just man it got me like it caught me off guard and it just fucking slayed me. One of my favorite jokes
I guess
from those guys.
as a side note, and I think like how should I present this? But it's like if what is it pantheism where everything in the universe is conscious. It's like
Uh-huh.
you can talk with everything. You can communicate. Like it's like Claude Shannon's information theory is based off random
Uh-huh.
communication. So you can literally talk with anything in the universe.
Well, maybe that's Tommy Wiseau. Maybe he's tapped into
Genius.
that.
Yeah. But I guess that leads into Well, it's kind of making fun of the trope, but I came across a no budget Die Hard movie. It's
Okay.
called To Die Is Hard, and it's about an English teacher. He's playing Bruce Willis, and it's like the same scenario. Like they follow the Die Hard pretty closely. I think it's been a long time, but I think you would
Yeah, like
appreciate it.
basically a ripoff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like they did it with no budget, so I mean,
Yeah.
like you have to, I guess, give them props for that.
I
You
do have a few honorable mentions.
okay? It's like I guess
Um,
that was my honorable mentions for just the common B movies.
okay. So honorable mention, I got Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okay, so old one.
Did you ever see that one?
A long time ago.
Yeah, it's fun. It's silly nonsense. My favorite bit of trivia from that movie is that the clowns, the costumes, like the prosthetics,
Mm-hmm.
were actually reused in Ernest Scared Stupid as the trolls. They just painted them differently.
Oh,
And
wow.
if you watch at the end of Ernest, when they
Mhm.
all come out of the, all the trolls get awakened and they come out of the ground, you can definitely tell because they're very uniquely shaped heads
Mm-hmm.
for each one. You're like, oh, they just painted the clowns from
Yeah,
Clowns from Outer
if you
Space.
had seen it. That's good.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're familiar with
Yeah, it's like
with
that's
both
really
movies,
old. Was that the 80s or early 90s?
Killer Clowns. It's Killer Clowns is definitely the 80s, but I don't remember exactly what year. I don't know if it even says on here. 1988. Which makes sense because Ernest Scared Stupid was like early 90s, I think. Maybe 91 or something.
Oh, okay.
So I guess somebody just had those costumes laying around.
Well, I mean, that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
You're making movies. You're just grabbing whatever you have and using it.
Yeah. I used to know, but I can't remember what the connection is, though, because those seem like very different. Like, who is, like, how did they get access to them? Like, who's the connection?
Yeah, probably somebody on
You
the
know,
crew or something.
yeah, like who worked on both movies and was able to get those props.
I was trying to remember something and failing.
Oh, I do that all the time. That's like most of my life now.
Yeah, it's funny how memory works or doesn't work.
Yep. So actually, I'll let you go if you have any. Wait, you said your honorable mentions,
Yeah,
right?
I think I got them all.
Okay, so I'll give another one. I'm blanking on it. It's Return of the Living Dead Part 3, I think it's called.
Part 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I love Return of the Living Dead. I have it right here. And that's another one that I'll just say that's an honorable mention too.
I don't think I've seen
But
that
Part
one.
3, you said you haven't seen it?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah, Return of the Living Dead is a weird fucking movie because they acknowledge that Night of the Living Dead is a movie in the movie. And they talk about it like, what if it was real? but the zombies are different. Like, they're completely, like, you cannot kill them. Like, you can, like, chop them in the head and they'll still come at you and everything. And they're, like, somewhat intelligent. It's a strange movie.
Okay.
And there's some weird backstory about the rights to the name and the title. But I don't remember.
Hollywood.
There's some weird thing about you can't call it Night of the Living Dead or Living Dead, and there was a big fight over it, I think.
As they are.
And they ended up just calling it Return of the Living Dead, which makes it sound like it's a sequel. But it has nothing to do with Night of the Living Dead.
Oops. Damn you little lawyers. Ruining everything.
Yeah, I don't remember the whole story or really much of it. I just remember there is a story about that. But part 3, I think, it just has a special place in my heart because it's one of those that I caught several times late at night. When I would, sneak downstairs and sit in that big wooden rocker. I know you know the one. In front of the TV. And
heavy. Remember having to move that? Giving myself a hernia.
Yeah. I wish I had gotten a hold of that fucking rocker after my father died, because I think one of my sisters probably got it, and they don't have the connection to it that I would, but I know neither me or my brother got it. So anyway, I would have loved to have gotten that old rocker, because I would have kept it for the rest of my life. I can't do it in this apartment, but someday I would use it to watch TV, and I would have to. But yeah, I watched that movie a couple of times late at night. I think it was on like USA a few times. That USA Up All Night, so it was heavily edited. But I know I caught it on like Cinemax or something a few times. And I thought the girl was really hot, and then she like gets killed and turns into a zombie, but she's like an intelligent one. And
is that Wendy? That crazy punk actress?
I don't really know who the actress is, actually. Let me look this movie up here.
I thought she was a singer. A punk singer.
I mean, it's possible.
I might be getting two people mixed up.
Melinda Clark.
No.
Abigail Lenz. I don't know. This cast list is weird.
Oops.
It's listing like two people for the same character. I think it's Abigail Lenz.
Oh, what? Are they making a remake?
It's possible.
Okay, so
She has a discography. So maybe she is, I guess she is some sort of musician. I don't know anything about that.
Well, then I got lucky, because that was not who I thought it was at all.
Anyway, another very bizarre, very strange movie. And I remember when I first saw it, I hadn't really seen anything like it. I'd seen weird horror movies, before, doing the same thing, like watching movies in the middle of the night that just come on TV, and I'd seen a lot of strange stuff, but like this was different because it had like this weird masochism element to it where she's like shoving spikes through her and It's very, very strange movie, but very entertaining.
Okay, that reminds me of this art house movie I forgot to talk about in our art house episode. It's called Liquid Sky,
Mm.
and
Don't know it.
it's about an alien that comes to like New York City, but it's just like a trippy kind of non-movie. Very
Okay.
very unique.
Hmm.
Thought I'd throw that out there.
I like the title, Liquid Sky.
Yeah, more
It's a good
interesting
title.
than the movie. That's definitely like a acid trip movie. Like not, I don't remember a whole lot of narrative or really anything that made sense, like a plot.
Hmm. Seems like you've seen a lot of those movies.
Well, I'd look for those kind of movies. I guess that's a good
Yeah.
segue into my number 3 pick, which is kind of I'm not even sure if it maybe qualify for a B movie, but it I think it's low budget. But it's the Greasy Strangler.
Okay. Yep. I have heard that referenced so many times, and I just have never gotten around to watching it. It looks very...
It's got a lot of good one-liners. The bullshit
Okay.
artist, bullshit artist, and hootie
I know it
tootie disco
definitely...
cutie, hootie tootie disco cutie.
It definitely has a following.
Yeah, it was brought to us by Elijah Woods and his company. The other two guys I don't remember. But
Yeah, I knew Elijah Wood had something to do with it. I just couldn't remember if it was
it was the
production or
funding.
was in it.
I think production funding or film
Okay.
distribution, something like that. I don't know. That's over my head. It's like maybe one of these days if I get around to. You haven't seen the Greasy Strangler, but you heard a
I
lot
have
about it.
not. I've heard of it. I hear it referenced a lot. Like,
Yeah. I think
several podcasts that I listen to, every once in a while they'll reference it.
I think it's kind of too long a little bit, but
yeah,
it's memorable.
I think all of my picks, by the way, all of my picks are horror movies.
Well,
That's just, those are the B movies I watch.
Okay, I'm kind of
So, like,
all over the place.
Yeah.
I guess this could kind of be considered a horror movie. It's kind of traumatizing. I guess it depends on if you find naked old people traumatizing.
Depends on the naked old person.
Well, that's what they like. They try to make it as horrifying as possible.
Gotcha. I just assumed it was a horror movie.
Yeah, I suppose Greasy Strangler. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm one of those people that it's like like I'm like one of those that's just like nothing's scary. I'm a badass. You can't scare me.
Oh yeah, you're one of those that has to beat the movie.
Yeah, I want. I got a steel fortress in my brain.
Not me. I try to allow any movie I can to scare me. I try to get into it and like, okay, I'm here to not be cynical, but most movies don't scare me. But I still enjoy them. And I can still say like, wow, that's really effective. Like that's really spooky or whatever. But it's not like I'm scared. Anyway, I do have one more honorable mention.
Okay.
And that's Sleepaway Camp. Did you ever see that one?
Sounds familiar. I don't I'm gonna say no because I can't really remember.
You should definitely watch it. I guess that's all I should say. Because there's some things in that movie that if you're able to go in completely blind and you don't know what you're in for, that's good. And it's a very old movie, so it's very rare that someone has that opportunity. So,
okay.
Yeah, I say check it out and don't look anything up about it. Just watch it at some point. So, on to my number 3. And this is one that isn't like super low budget, but it is definitely like what we talked about, like the B side of a double feature type of movie. And it is not very high budget either, but that's Chopping Mall.
Okay.
I love that movie. I watch it probably once a year or so.
Yeah, you've mentioned
maybe
it
even
before.
more, because have I mentioned it? Yeah. Sometimes I just like having it on while I do chores and stuff. It's just one of those familiar movies to me. And it's hilarious and terrible in all the best ways. Plus, it has Barbara Crampton. And Kelly Maroney. Kelly Maroney was in the one that we watched, Night of the Comet. She's the little sister, the cheerleader.
The blonde. Or,
And
I forgot already.
yeah, yeah. Well, connection to Night of the Comet is Kelly Maroney is the point. But she's the star of Chopping Mall. Like, she's the main character.
Okay.
She was the one, my old Facebook account that got hacked. That was my profile picture, was her with the machine pistol.
Okay.
And like I said, Barbara Crampton, which shows up on 2 movies on my list. So, because I fucking love Barbara Crampton. I think she's awesome. Yeah, Chopping Mall. I don't know what else to say about it. There's a legend about the, or a myth or a legend about how the name came to be. Because if you watch the movie, the name doesn't make much sense. Because you'd think that it's about like a serial killer or something in a shopping mall, chopping people up. But nobody gets chopped. There's no chopping in the movie at all.
A lot of lasers, though, I think.
Yeah, a lot of lasers. A couple people burned to death. The closest you get to a chop is one guy gets like his throat like pinched, I guess, by like a robot claw.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not even like chopping his head off. It's just like a little pinch, and then he dies. You get to see Dick Miller briefly as the janitor. Always love a Dick Miller cameo. He's the guy most memorable. He's the guy in the Gremlins, the racist neighbor that gets run over with his own snowplow, and then somehow is alive in the sequel. Yeah, he's also the gun store owner in the first Terminator that gets killed. I think he gets killed in most movies.
It's the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go. Chopping Mall. That's my number 3.
Okay. For my number 2, I was going to go with an anime pick. Because,
okay.
Yeah, it's definitely off the beaten path. Can I maybe even considered hentai? You can watch it on YouTube. It's called Apocalypse Zero.
Okay.
But yeah, it's 2 episodes, so about an hour long. Maybe not even.
Apocalypse. I can never spell apocalypse.
Yeah, that's one of those. Oh wait, I want to remember that. Okay, so
Apocalypse Zero. Okay. Looks like an anime.
yeah, it is.
So what?
Although I guess in the manga, well, in the OVA, it's not really fleshed out, but like it's two brothers, and one of the brothers, like they have the suits, like Power Rangers or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
one of the suits possesses the weaker, well, the older brother, and it turns him into a woman,
Okay.
and he's like fighting to destroy the world, um, but just really unique um, boss enemies. Like there's this guy who can control his dick, and he's like this penis flying around, like shooting metal balls. Um, yeah, I guess what when I think of this series, like like what captures my heart, it's like there's this scene where this person gets eaten by a monster and then puked
Mm-hmm.
out, and like he's this skeleton and he's dying, and this girl, like fuck, I forgot her name, but she's like, oh my god, I'll save you, or you don't die. Gives him a hug. He's like covered in acid. So just really heartwarming stuff.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds almost like a romance.
Totally. Well, that's why I guess with the manga, it's like the author of it, like completely, like I think he had a ending in mind where maybe the bad guy would win, but then like all the fans wanted a happy ending, so he just gives it to them.
I like a happy ending. I don't mind a bleak ending, but
I
I
guess
think I prefer happy.
I went through my phase. I don't know. It's like I guess I kind of view art in general as exploring ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, if you're gonna explore an idea, it's better to do it in art than, you know.
It I guess it just kind of depends. There's, generally speaking, I like at least a survivor, because a lot of, especially with horror movies, um,
Oh, it's
I
like
mean,
I just watched Uzumake, um, the
oh
Netflix
yeah,
remake. I guess it came out
uh-huh,
a couple of years ago, and I didn't realize it. But it follows the manga pretty much frame
pretty
for
well.
frame. Yeah, it's just like an animated manga.
Yeah, I need to
Um,
watch that because I love the book. Um,
it's it.
and I mean, that's
Oh,
a pretty bleak ending.
you could. I don't know.
So you can interpret it certain ways, but
Yeah,
in the book, I haven't watched the show, but I remember thinking the ending was, I
I think
mean,
it's got some wiggle room there. You can like just yeah. I guess maybe
yeah,
because I have this kind of feeling in the back of my skull that it's like these bodies don't matter and we're all interchangeable. Like Yeah, I was going to mention about the baby scenes you were talking about
Mhm.
last episode, or um, yeah, it's like those don't bother me at all, and I found that kind of odd.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's if you've got the disconnect when you're watching a movie and you're
Well,
like,
I guess for me, I think it's a, uh philosophical um,
mhm.
thing. Like yeah. I guess I don't. You're not really a person until you, I don't know, or maybe like, yeah, there's like a mind body separation.
For children or just
Um,
generally.
I'm not explaining this well at all. I guess it is
This
one of
might be
those open questions. It's like
yeah.
we haven't
This
really
might be an in
figured anything
conversation.
out. Huh? Oh,
This might
yeah.
be one of those stay up all night,
Yeah,
you know.
get nowhere, learn nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably. I like those shows.
Anyway, bleak endings. I'm trying to think of a few that there's an example is Wolf Creek, if you've ever seen that. I think it's an Australian movie, but it's about this crazy redneck that just hunts people, and
Is
the
that the
the
one with
woman
the
is
flesh-eating virus?
no, there's no kind of virus or anything. I don't think it's just some crazy fucking redneck.
Okay, I don't think I
Um,
have.
yeah, that one's got a really really bleak ending, and I didn't care for it because spoiler alert, like nobody survives.
Hmm.
But the way it's done is like you're pretty sure one of the characters is gonna survive right up until the end, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I like a survivor, especially in like a slasher type movie like that. Um,
Oh,
but it's still, even when you have a survivor in a movie like that, it's a bleak ending because I mean they're gonna have PTSD, like crippling PTSD for the rest of their fucking lives.
probably.
Um, but and then you have The Mist, which is probably the most famous bleak ending, which I go back and forth with. I think it depends on my mood. Sometimes I love that ending, and sometimes I fucking hate it.
I
Um,
liked it when I watched it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
yeah, I don't know. I think like Stephen King said he liked the movie ending better than his, but I think I might like his ending better overall
I've never
because
read
it
it.
just yeah. In his, they basically just drive off into the mist, and you don't know what happens to them.
Huh.
Uh, but the um the ending in the movie, it just kind of feels a little like a different movie. Like it just, I don't know. It's hard to put in words what I don't like about the ending. Probably because I go back and forth between liking it and
Yeah,
disliking it.
I don't know. Like I have a
Anyway,
feeling the CGI probably didn't hold up too well.
oh, that doesn't bother me. In
Yeah,
fact, it looks really good if you get the black and white version, which was the original. It was originally supposed to be in black and white, but
yeah.
because it's like a callback to those old,
Oh,
old B movies. Uh, but I guess the studio interfered and said, no, it can't be in black and white, which makes the CGI look a lot worse.
hmm.
Um, but there's certain scenes, certain creatures in that movie that look fucking awesome in black and white. Like those big spiders look really
Oh,
cool. Anyway,
Interesting.
I guess I'll go on to my number 2.
Okay.
We're chasing a lot of rabbits here.
Yeah. Well, I was going to
Which is fine.
mention Uzumaki again because it is in black and white, and I noticed it was rated mature, but I think that's because of the nudity.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
There is a lot of body horror in it, though. A lot of disfigured people.
Yeah. I do want to see Godzilla -1 in black and white. There's a black and white version of that one, too, which I haven't watched yet.
I've never been
seen
big on Godzilla.
Oh, I love Godzilla. I've always loved Godzilla. I used to have this when I was a kid. I had this big Godzilla that would walk, and it would like steam would pour out of his mouth, and I'm not sure how it worked really. The eyes would light up. Wish I still had that thing. Probably worth a lot of money. But yeah, I really like Godzilla, and Godzilla -1 is probably the best one. I think it might even be better than it is. It's better than the original. That movie's fucking incredible.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, check it. If you ever want to give Godzilla a chance, check that one out. Okay, so my number 2 is Re-Animator.
Oh.
Another one with Barbara Crampton. Plays a bigger role.
Oh,
and
okay. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah, I love that movie. That movie is fucking hilarious and bizarre. Not bizarre in a like what the fuck am I watching kind of way, but just you can tell they were having fun with it.
Okay. I think I was maybe too young to appreciate that at the time. I was trying to watch a movie.
Yeah. I mean, it is a movie, but it borders on like horror comedy. In fact, you probably could call it a horror comedy because it's definitely aware of what it's doing, and there's a lot of jokes. They're very dry, but maybe not dry, but there's a lot of moments where like you're like, is that written as a joke, or is that just a bad script, or is it a brilliant script?
It makes you question.
But the guy, I'm thinking it's Jeffrey Combs. That's his name, right? Yeah, Jeffrey Combs. As the crazy scientist is like when you see his performance in the movie, that's when you're like, okay, we're in on the joke, because he acts that part in a certain way where you can just tell that, okay, yeah, this is all self-aware. They're having fun with this.
Yeah, I guess the Die Hard movie I mentioned is like that too. There's a lot of slapping the hostages. Get a hold of yourself.
Okay, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, and it's got so many quotable lines, mostly from Jeffrey Combs, like the scene where the cat dies and he just puts it in the fridge instead of telling anyone. His roommate gets really pissed at him, as he would. And I guess he doesn't want to say that he's keeping the cat so he can do experiments on it, but he's like, why didn't you tell anybody? And what am I supposed to do? Leave a note, cat dead, details later? Like, that's a really funny line. And my favorite is when the like department chair tries to steal his research, and so he kills him, and right before he cuts his head off, he just says plagiarist, cuts his head off. That's funny shit.
It's so true.
It's an entertaining. It is, yeah.
It happens all the time in academia.
Yep, and that's the worst thing you can call someone in academia. And it's true, he was a plagiarist, and that's why he died. And then gets brought back to life as a severed head. The guy deserved what happened to him. Fuck that guy.
Ouch.
Although Barbara Crampton's character's dad did not deserve what happened to him. That was pretty rough. But, yep, there's my number 2.
Okay. Damn. Like, I guess for my number 1, I haven't seen it in so long, it's kind of fuzzy in my head, and it's also maybe, I'm not sure about the budget. It seems like maybe too big a budget, but Machete with Danny Trejo.
Oh, no shit. Okay. I have not seen that. Okay. I know what it is. I know it was based on one of the fake trailers in the Grindhouse movies, and then they just made it into a movie. I've just never got
to watch it again. I don't know. Too much other things to do.
Oh, 2010. Wow, that's 15 years old already.
Right. It's like time flies. I have seen him in where he was this like local hero that was on the bus and he fights some terrorist or something. Like they had made a whole movie series out of that. It's pretty good,
Yeah, I don't really know a lot of Danny Trejo movies. I mean, I know movies that he's in, which is a ton of them, but it, like specific, like where he's the star. I'm not that familiar.
Oh, I think it's called Badass. Yeah.
Oh, I have heard of that. I think I see like a cover with him like a baseball bat or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've seen Nobody with the Breaking Bad guy, that comedian, it's like that 10 years earlier with Danny Trejo.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, he's like
Bob Odenkirk is the guy you were trying to think of.
Yeah, and he's like totally not convincing as a badass. Like, there's no way.
I don't know. I thought he did all right. I thought he was fine. Because he's supposed to be like just the unassuming, regular looking dude.
There's no way.
I like the bus fight. I thought it was a really well choreographed fight.
It reminded me of Old Boy.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, the way it's shot.
Yeah, I think
and
Old
the setting
Boy did it better.
But I also just love Bob Odenkirk, so maybe I'm just biased because I really like that guy.
He's alright.
Funny enough, they were both in Breaking Bad, actually. Danny Trejo's in Breaking Bad.
Oh, I guess I missed that season.
He's the one that he was the snitch.
Really?
And yeah, they put his head on a turtle.
And
then the turtle. Like they put like a bomb inside Danny Trejo's severed head, and then put the head on a turtle, and then painted like "Hello DEA" on the turtle. Comes by and it blows up a bunch of cops.
Huh.
Yeah, it's fun. Machete. So is that it's pretty much like the Grindhouse movies? Is it like really over the top? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Motorcycles
I should
flying in the sky, and it's got
yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez. So what's not to like?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Is that the one where I have an image? Maybe it's from the fake trailer where he's like on a motorcycle with like a minigun attached to the motorcycle.
I think so, but I'm getting confused. It's like because there's this Japanese movie that comes in where they like shoot shurikens out their assholes. But,
wow, you've seen a lot of movies.
I get them all mixed up too.
Yeah. I should watch Machete.
It's good. I should watch it again. I think the second one's kind of not as good, but you know.
I didn't even know there was a second one.
Well, now you know.
All right. That was your number one, right?
Yep. Yeah, going kind of quick.
Give me the recap. What was your number three?
The Greasy Strangler.
Right. Okay. And then the anime, what? Yeah, Apocalypse Zero was your number two. Okay.
Yeah.
So my number one is probably another basic bitch choice. I think it's probably the most famous B movie, at least in horror, and that's Evil Dead.
Okay. No, that's solid.
I would say Evil Dead 2 because I know it's a better movie overall. The problem is I've seen Evil Dead so many more times but I still get them, like the problem you have, like I get them confused in my head, like when did this happen and which movie did this happen in?
Yeah.
Because they're so fucking similar. Actually, I might have to go with Evil Dead 2, really, because I'm pretty sure that's the one where you get the hand and all that going on. But of course, Evil Dead started it, so I don't know. Maybe I'll say it's a tie between Evil Dead 1 and 2, because they're essentially the same fucking movie. But plus, I mean, look at the franchise that it spawned.
Well, it launched a career too, the director.
Yeah. Yep. And we got Bruce Campbell. We got Bruce Campbell's chin. You know, two phenomenal actors. Yeah, and then I like the newer ones too. I thought the 2013 remake was pretty solid. They don't do any of the humorous stuff. It's like all pretty serious. I don't know if you saw that one, but
I'm not remembering.
Yeah,
I don't know what
the remake is fun, and I really, really liked Evil Dead Rise, and I feel like a lot of people didn't care for it or just kind of thought it was meh. But as far as the new, original stuff, I think it's probably my favorite. And then, of course, I really enjoyed Ash vs. Evil Dead. I saw every season of that. I wish it had gone a little longer, but I enjoyed that too. So, yeah, I'm just a huge fan of the entire franchise, and I hope they keep making more of them. So
cool.
And also, Evil Dead is inspiring because it makes you feel like you can just get all your friends together and make a movie. because that's what they did. Let me look at the budget, actually. Raimi says the film cost $375,000, which is definitely more money than either of us have. So maybe not that inspiring when you actually look up the cost.
Well, that's where I'm going with AI. Come on, AI.
Yep, $300 movie. Let's do it.
Well, that's what I'll check out next weekend. So see how plausible it'll be. I did get some fantastic results on this dance scene. Hopefully, I'll have that video next week sometime.
All right, cool.
I think you'll like it.
Yeah. All right, so what do we got next?
I think books. Let's see. I was not sure if we should try to split this into 2 episodes because I felt like we could do an episode on movies that are based off books, and then we could do another episode on what movies should be made based off a book that's like not already out there.
Oh, like a book we'd like to see made into a movie?
Yeah.
Like a whole episode on that? I like that idea.
Getting tongue-tied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. I guess naturally we could start with movies based on books.
Okay.
And
there's also some series being made currently, like the Chronicles of Amber. I thought that's in production, but I'm not really sure.
I'm not familiar with it.
Oh. Like that's kind of like
I know
Lord of the Rings or what's the other one? Game of Thrones territory. So maybe more sci-fi.
I know they made recently they made a series out of the 3-body problem, and I really want to watch that series, but I've heard mixed reviews.
Only read the
I don't know how easy it would be to adapt those to film.
I watched the Prime series, but I haven't seen the movie. But it's
the what?
Fucking long. The Prime series they made about the 3-body problem. It's like all Chinese people.
Okay. Is there 2? I thought there was a Netflix one.
It's just a movie, I think. If I could have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I know there was a recent series. I just don't know. I can't remember which platform it was on.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometime I'll get around to checking it out someday. But
yeah, I wasn't sure either. They seem to be going with a really dark direction with it. We're too stupid to choose for ourselves. We'll just let aliens choose for us.
There would be plenty of people that would say that.
Well, I mean, I guess a lot of people are like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Truth hurts.